channel. My name is Marianne Allen and I am so excited you're here. Today I'm here with Kiki once again. We promised you guys a video with her telling us like what her experience was like in Ghana. This video is about that today. If you have not seen the other video where Kiki talks about her favorite food in Ghana, I'm gonna link it up here and take a look at it. So if you're new to this channel, we moved here just about 6 months ago. Kiki's been here, yeah, just about 5 months, 6 months. She's a teenager from the US, and it was pretty hard leaving her friends and loved ones behind to come to Ghana, to come and live in Africa. School is over and she's going back to the US for a summer vacation, and she'll be back. But for the short time that she's been here, this is the longest that she's been in Africa overall. So we kind of just want to know like what that experience was like. I'm sure it's gonna get even better once she gets back, because she would know what to expect and things like that. But so far, realistically, we kind of want to know like what she thinks. So it's gonna be directly from her point of view. It looks like Nico just joined the party. Without wasting any more time, let's get into the video. What is one thing you like about being in Ghana? Like your stay overall?
Maybe the weather. It was a nice change of scenery, and
You like the weather? I know it was, especially this year, winter was brutal in the US, and it was good that every time we went out, we always talked about that. Every time we stepped out of the house, it was, I mean, you never have to worry about, oh, did I bring my jacket, or is my jacket thick enough and stuff like that. You just have good weather, like regardless of the time of the day. At night you walk out and it's still warm. The only difference you get is the rain, but with even the rain is nice. So second question is, what is one thing that could have made your stay a little more enjoyable?
if I had friends.
If you have friends, yeah. But you made a friend, right?
Something like that.
Kiki met a friend, and I was so proud of her for stepping out the box. So you want to tell them how you met your friend?
I went to a concert by myself.
Like first time ever. It was like a big deal for her. And we were so proud that she decided to do it. I was scared, I mean, having her go out there by herself, but we trusted the process and just let her step out there. And then she met the girl at the concert, and they hung out the entire time. And then after that, they hung out one more time, right? But I think they had some cultural differences. So she didn't enjoy the company past that point much because of that. But I think you're gonna make more friends, and she's still looking forward to making more friends. Okay, and I think they had a big age gap too, so that made a difference. What is one thing you did not like while being in Ghana?
The language difference, I guess. Not being able to understand when you go out. You're kind of just clueless.
And they do love to speak their language, right? It's like, it's so common. That's kind of like the default. And then when you say you can't understand, then you definitely seem like the outsider. Even though they always say there are Ghanaians that don't speak Tree, and we have actually met some, like Theo doesn't speak Tree.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He speaks Ewe. He doesn't speak Tree. So there are Ghanaians that don't speak Tree, but for us, we still feel like we stand out if you're like, oh, I don't understand. And they're very considerate to switch back to English, but it definitely makes you feel left out when you're out there and people are speaking the language. So Kiki said the language is something she would have, if she knew the language, it would have made her stay a little bit more enjoyable. Do you have any plans on learning?
Yeah, I can try. I don't know how much I'm gonna learn.
Before you leave, huh?
It's kind of not an easy language to just.
A lot of them say it's easy, it's quite easy, but I guess you never know until you start. We do have intentions to like do classes. They have some weekend classes like in the city, just to brush off on like basic conversation. But you know a little bit of Tree.
Don't ask me, please.
I'm going to ask you.
I'm not saying it.
What is that one thing that when we came to Ghana, this question I don't even have it down here, but what is that one thing when we came to Ghana, it was kind of nice, like, oh, but then now it's just so annoying to you. Like, what is that one word?
Please.
Why is it so annoying?
So annoying. Why do you have to say please with everything?
Please before the sentence and please after.
Please after. Please in between. Please wherever.
So, because please is such a popular word in Ghana, at first you would just think, oh, it's just so courteous, but then after a while it just gets a little too much. But that's kind of like the only word we actually know in Tree. So how do you say please in Tree? Say the thing, you know it.
Say it.
Pacho. Umpacha. And umpacha, everybody is saying umpacha, umpacha. And so when people are talking in Tree, you definitely will hear that part and you would know. It will start with umpacha and we end with umpacha, and like you hear a lot of pacha in the Tree. So we know that. And then when someone say it isn't, what is it? It isn't.
That's how you say it.
Oh, how do you say it then? Francesca, how do you say it isn't or it isn't? Etisen. Etisen. So when I say etisen, what do you say? Yeah. You know Tree. So, okay, what's next? Let's talk about remote schooling. So when we came, we decided to not put Kiki in in-person school because she was in the 11th grade, almost to graduation, and we didn't want to change her curriculum. So we left her in remote schooling from the US. So Kiki goes to school from the US but away. So kind of like she's being homeschooled. So what about remote schooling that you like? What did you like about remote schooling?
You get to work at your own pace.
Mm-hmm.
You can work ahead if you want.
So when you work ahead, you kind of like create time for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can work ahead and give yourself like extra days off doing nothing, compared to when you went to school in person. You would be forced to be there for the same length of time every day. So what did you not like about, what was a downside of remote schooling, especially in Africa?
The time difference.
Okay.
I had some classes that were like late at night.
And those were harder to be in. So time difference will definitely be a little not unusual if you're a kid doing remote schooling. if you are doing remote schooling like the same time in the US and you're in the US, it's much different than when you're out. But then
it's mornings and afternoons. Here it's afternoon, evening, night.
Yeah, afternoon, evening, night. But there was also a plus side to that too, though, for you. What was that?
Sleep.
And she definitely enjoyed that. You could sleep in the morning and not be in a hurry to wake up for class.
But then when we go out, if we go out, then I'm in class while I'm out.
Yeah, because if we go out, like especially those evenings, or sometimes we're coming back home and we're stuck in traffic, she has to join class while we're in the car. But then the good thing about the remote schooling is that all of the classes were recorded, right? So even like there were a couple of times where either the battery ran dead or the network dropped, and she would just log off, and when she gets home, like send a message to her teacher. When she gets home, she can rewatch the class and do her homework. So it was pretty flexible. And did you like that? That you could, it's not like you were forced to be in class, but you have the option of, even if you were to miss, you still have access to your lesson. And homeschooling to kind of save families, parents, because when your kid homeschool, you don't have to worry about the city that you're living in, to the central city. And this is why we chose Tema, because we didn't have to deal with commuting and dropping her off to school and stuff like that. You don't need a car right away because you don't have to take her to school. And so there are a lot of pluses for homeschooling when you first move to a different country or move to Ghana. So from Kiki's point of view, you would like, as a teenager, you would like homeschooling better. But social STEM,
here, I would like it better.
if she was in Ghana, she would like it better. But if she was in the US, she would rather go in person. Now, that could be a little biased because she hasn't gone to school in person in Ghana. It might be easier to make friends and stuff, and that could have helped your no friend issue and social issue if you had gone in person or connected with people. So there's a plus and minus for that. Now, do you think children your age can have a good time in Ghana?
Yes.
Why?
There's more things to do, but at the same time, there isn't.
It's almost like you have to have your network.
You can either have a lot of fun or it can be really boring.
And what do you think makes the difference?
Friends, there's things that I might like for us, we live in Tema, Community 25.
So distance from
in
town.
the bush. Yeah. You have to come home at 7 o'clock because you have to beat traffic.
What about having your own car? Would that make a difference? Or not a big difference?
Yeah, it could make a difference, but we're still far away. So the only difference is you'd be driving yourself.
But still a long way.
Yeah.
So if you were in the city, like car wouldn't really make a difference because it's easy to get Uber when you're in the city. So what she's saying is, as a teenager, some of the things that might make your trip a little better or enjoyable is how central you are from town and the activities, network, so friends, and then transportation, like car, having access to car, if you're far away. But if you're in the city, you may not need access to car because there are cars everywhere. So last question is, so as a teenager, giving an advice to another teenager that is moving to Ghana, what would you say is one thing that they would have to get used to that's different than the West?
Internet being unstable, electricity.
Unstable internet, especially they like to be on their phone and online, and the internet is not always stable, especially recently.
Always having poor connection when you're FaceTiming people.
Oh yeah? You FaceTime a lot? yeah, poor connection when you're FaceTiming people. When you're FaceTiming people. So you have to use more voice call than all those video things. But then it's just been recently though. We've had really bad network recently. And it's not just like for our house or area. Everywhere the internet companies have just been having issues. So the internet's been bad.
Before that.
The FaceTime wasn't working well.
Because the internet doesn't go out through the house that good.
Oh, I guess it depends on the size of the house as well. If the house is so big, you have to get routers that can distribute the internet so that it's strong in all parts of the house, and which we've done. But there are still parts of the house, like the kitchen. When you're in the kitchen, your signal isn't as strong. And I think Kiki's room too, the signal isn't as strong. But our room is just fine. So that's it for Kiki's experience in Ghana here, part 1, like the first phase of her being here. She's traveling back to the US, and when she gets back, it would be phase 2. And then when she leaves next year, she'll be going for graduation and going off to college. And Kiki's Africa time at that time would just be visiting us. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in another video. Bye-bye.